In the immortal words of the amazing Lucas, oh my goodness. Oh my. Oh my. Wow. And I'm not even going to explain it right now. Play the intro. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way, but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, PDawg Night. And stop the music. Good morning and welcome to the Morning Night Live on this beautiful January 6th, 2020. And yes, he done did it. Yes, I'm pretty sure most of you've already heard about the monologue from Ricky Gervais at the Golden Globes. And unfortunately, I'm finding that people who are playing the actual monologue have been getting copyright struck by Dick Clark Productions because they're one of those prolific purveyors of copyright strikes, and the Golden Globes is a Dick Clark production. He apparently is Dick Clark even still alive? I don't even know if he's still alive, but Dick Clark Productions is still going strong. And maybe if you are always skeptical of the Hollywood elite and really just want to give them the business, well, Ricky Gervais set off bombs left and right at the Golden Globes. And I would have never even thought to watch the Golden Globes. I just don't care about the Hollywood Awards show. But around 9 o'clock, the clip of his opening monologue hit Twitter. And oh my God, just freaking hilarious. Now, I will put a link to it if you haven't seen it. I can't imagine that you haven't seen it yet, but it was absolutely glorious. In fact, let me put, I'm going to copy. There's the tweet. If you haven't, by the way, thanks. Thank you so much, MC Hammer Time. And Scarlett, I'm not sure who Scarlett Baby. That's someone I don't know, but it's who tweeted out my show this morning. Scarlett, what? Okay, Scarlett, are you in the chat? Thank you for putting out the stream. I'm not sure who you are, Scarlett Baby. Does anyone? All right, I'm going to put this out on the screen. Does anyone know who this is? Is this someone we know? But she decided to like my tweet. Okay, she's a Twitch streamer. If you're here, hey, stand up and say hi. But anyway, I put the Ricky Gervais monologue in the chat. We're just go now. A couple comedians decide to stand up and put themselves out there this weekend, and so I'm going to just go through. I'm gonna go through a couple things that some comedians did over the weekend, and In some cases, they were funny, and some cases that was funny because they're so stupid. But let's start with Ricky Gervais. Okay, Ricky Gervais, and it was interesting. The reactions to Ricky Gervais's controversial Golden Globes monologue were almost, for me they were almost as entertaining as the actual monologue itself. The monologue, I thought, was fabulous. I about every other joke, I'm like, damn, oh my, damn, because he was hitting them left and right, and sometimes they reacted, sometimes they didn't. But let's get into some of the jokes, because the jokes were just, they were great. We'll just go to the New York Post first. The New York Post has an article here. Ricky Gervais's most controversial Golden Globe jokes. Before his stint as host of the Golden Globe Awards in 2011, comedian Ricky Gervais said, "I guarantee they will not invite me back." Well, the 2020 Golden Globes on Sunday marks Gervais's fifth time as host after 2010, 2011, 2012, and 2016, making him the most frequent ringmaster of award season, famously Drunken Circus. Gervais's years have been defined by controversy. However, as the comic often bites the hand that feeds him, hounding beloved celebrities such as Jennifer Lawrence and implying that the Globe's voting group, the Hollywood Foreign Press Association, is corrupt. But it was Gervais's, Gervais. Oh yeah, I always say Gervais. I don't know why that. Gervais, but it was Gervais's killer instinct as the ceremony's first host in 15 years that opened the door for later acclaimed hosts Tina Fey and Amy Poehler to be vicious towards James Cameron and Leonardo DiCaprio. Here are some of Gervais's most notorious zingers at the Golden Globes. Now, the one he said he did regret one joke, and this was it. And this was during the show itself. Gervais regrets one joke most of all from his Golden Globes hosting gigs. He told the Hollywood Foreign Reporter, and strangely enough, it's one of his most innocuous, a jab at home improvement actor Tim Allen in 2011. And this was from, these are all this. This is not from this year. I thought this was this year's joke. Let me come back. We'll come back to this. But anyway, he did regret a joke that he told about Tim Allen. What can I say about our next two presenters, he said on the telecast. The first is an actor, producer, and director whose movies have grossed over $3.5 billion at the box office. He's won 2 Academy Awards, 3 Golden Globes for his powerful and varied performances, starring such films as Philadelphia, Forrest Gump, Castaway, Apollo 13, and Saving Private Ryan. The other is Tim Allen. And he says, I have nothing against Tim Allen. Okay, this is not what I wanted to talk about, though. I apologize. I really want to get into I want to get into the actual monologue. I want to find. Let me just find it here. A lot of people. Let's see. You can watch it on this one. Let me see if it's in this. I clicked the wrong New York Post article. Now they give you a chance to watch it. Okay, this is the one I wanted to do. Ricky Gervais opened the 2020 Golden Globes at the Beverly Hilton Hotel, letting the world know he doesn't care. he did not give a shit. Several times, he left no holds barred, his fifth and final hosting moment, cursing up a storm and bashing nearly everyone in Hollywood. I don't care anymore. Never did, the 58-year-old said of his gig. Remember, they're just jokes. We're all going to die soon, and there's no sequel. Oh, see, Thomas, you got to watch it. You got to watch it. What's he in trouble for? He's not in trouble. He's the hero today. He's the hero of the world. Nothing was too taboo for Gervais, who took a jab at 45-year-old Leonardo DiCaprio, star of the 2-hour and 40-minute long Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, with a penchant for younger girlfriends. He said, Leonardo DiCaprio attended the premiere, and by the end, his date was too old for him. And then he said, even Prince Andrew's like, come on, mate, you're nearly 50. No celebrity was safe from Gervais' zingers, not even Dom Judi Dench, 85. Gervais had to stop mid-monologue before delivering his foul-mouthed quip about Dench's role in the movie's Cats. Judi Dench defended the film. Oh, wait a minute. What? Oh, he said, quote, Judi Dench defended the film, saying it was the role that she was born to play because she loves nothing better than plunking herself down on the carpet, lifting her leg, and licking her own pussy. She's old school, which got a huge laugh from Gwyneth Paltrow because he didn't cough like he had a hairball. And he said she's old school. Gervais was also less kind to Martin Scorsese, making fun of the director for his feud with the Marvel franchise, which he compared to a theme park as well as his height. I don't know what he's doing at theme parks, he said. He's not big enough to go on the rides. Dom. Okay, everyone's getting my pronunciation. Did I say Dame or Dom? I thought I said Dom. Judi Dench. Anyway, she's anyway. He also took a jab at comic book films, saying that actors don't do much acting in the movies. Their job isn't acting anymore. It's going to the gym and taking steroids, he said. Of course, the college admissions scandals was mentioned in the monologue. I came in a limo tonight, and the license plate was made by Felicity Huffman, he said to the crowd, which absolutely gasped. Now, here's the funny thing. As you watched the monologue, in fact, you know what? Maybe can I get away with playing this? I bet I can't. I'm just telling you, you got to watch it. And he also, so one of the jokes he told, he brought up, he was discussing the Netflix show Afterlife. Okay. And, as he says, it's a show about a man who is contemplating suicide, and they're about to have a second season, so that we know that in the end, he didn't kill himself, just like Jeffrey Epstein. And the audience kind of gasps, and he says, shut up. I know he's your friend, but I don't care. He looked at the shocked crowd. It was hilarious. Let's see. He also singled out the All-Star Irishman table, acknowledging the presence of Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, and Baby Yoda. Oh, no, that's Joe Pesci. Sorry. Gervais also took, let's see, what else did he do? Almost everyone in the audience audibly gasped when Gervais brought up Ronan Farrow, who broke the news about the alleged widespread abuse in Hollywood. Speaking of men in the audience, he said, not men, movie executives. He said that there was, there's a lot of very powerful people here that, producers and whatnot. And he said, but they're all terrified of Ronan Farrow. He's coming for you. I'm talking to you, perverts. What else did he do? He also slammed the slowly dying film and television industry. Mostly films are awful and lazy. No one cares about movies anymore. No one's going to the cinema. Nobody watches network television. Everybody watches Netflix. Noting the rise of the streaming service in the eyes of the critics. This show should be just me coming out here and going, well done, Netflix, he joked. However, he was less kind when discussing Apple TV, noting that newcomers like The Morning Show are being made by a company who runs sweatshops in China. You stay woke. And not Tim Allen, what is the guy? Allen? Who's the guy? The guy from Apple was in the audience and had a really sour look on his face. So anyway, but his best line was at the end. He finished with this. So if you do win an award tonight, don't use it as a political platform to make a political speech. You're in no position to lecture the public about anything. You know nothing about the real world. Most of you spend less time in school than Greta Thunberg. So if you win, come up and accept your little award, thank your agent and God and your God, and fuck off, okay? Tim Cook, thank you. Yeah, Tim Cook was in the audience. Didn't look happy. Tom Hanks didn't seem to look all that happy during the show. There were a lot of people. A lot of people laughed and thought it was, found the funny in it. But a lot of people also just, it looks like my stream's freezing. A lot of people were just sour, just flabbergasted. And he ripped into everybody. And it was beautiful. It was a beautiful thing. And what am I doing there? Probably should transition here. Yeah, it was fantastic. And I can't recommend you watching it enough. I think I'm going to put the link to it again in the chat. Right click this bad boy and go watch it on if you haven't seen it yet. But it was fantastic. And he is, oh yes, he's getting beat up for it. Also, good morning. Well, first of all, thanks again to people who tweeted out the stream for me. In particular, Necrosol, G Prime, Scarlett, MC, and Becca Farley. Thank you, you guys. I appreciate that. Also, I got to say good morning to everybody because I haven't done that yet either. So, hi, how are ya? The bell goes to Chadwick Dupree, also known as Damn It Chadwick. Good morning. Also, good morning, Duck Dog, Sheograth, Rolling Bear, RVA, Mr. Scott, Green Thunder, Demighty, D.I. Freighter, Necrosaw Collins, MC, Hammer Time, Chicago Mike, Richo, Mr. Scott. I said Mr. Scott already. I think I got C. Thomas, Corbin, the Gulf City Peasant, and as I scroll down, there's a few more. And I think I hit everybody who's been in the chat. There's a bunch of people lurking too. That's cool. Lurk away. And as you're watching the show, if you like what we do, make sure you hit the like button. Also, the biggest thing you can do for me is hit the share arrow or tweet out the show. If you follow me on Twitter, just retweet what I did, and that's fantastic. Also, if you want to do super chats or donations to the show, you can do that through the Streamlabs link, which is down there somewhere. It's also in the chat periodically. Also, good morning, Pincalo. I saw you pop in there. And Skull Vikings. Yes, the Vikings. I know I don't talk football on here a lot, but I was pleasantly surprised at how the Minnesota Vikings handled their business yesterday and took out the Saints in the first round of the playoffs. Get to go and play San Francisco next. We'll see if, when they play well, they play really well. And then when they play crap, well, then you go. Also, a quick thank you to Irate Prostate, who's another YouTuber who had me on for an interview yesterday. We did just a 2-hour shoot the shit session. It was kind of fun, and he does regular interviews with just the people on Sunday afternoons called Ice Cream Interviews, and that was kind of fun. So if you want to check that out, that is also in the description below down there. If you want to check out that stream, if you want to know what makes me tick, I think I got into a little bit of it. Some of it you've heard before. Some of the questions he asked, I hadn't even ever talked about before. So if you want to watch that, again, that is in the description down below. Okay, so let's see. If you were, before we get yanked for a copyright, so one of the reasons I'm not playing the Ricky Gervais actual monologue is because a couple of people have been getting copyright strikes. I think I mentioned that earlier from Dick Clark Productions, and so the content is being blocked. Now I think at least the people that, for example, Ranting Monkey did it as part of his Monkey in the Morning show this morning. And they were stopping the video, commenting on it, talking about it. It was, you know, I mean, it's a news item. It's on every news outlet in the country right now because it was so controversial. So it really does qualify as news. I think you can get away with playing it and maybe, excuse me, I'm partying. Sorry. I do have my reparations coffee, by the way. They could probably get away with, disputing those strikes and probably getting it put back on because it's become a news event. Even though it's a production of Dick Clark, it is a newsworthy item that people talk about and people are doing commentary on. So hopefully those strikes will be overturned. One other article, he did a bunch of other jokes. The one other joke that that really I thought was fantastic, and I wonder, maybe I'm gonna, you know what, I'm gonna take a chance because this is the one that I think this one was amazing. This that and there are a lot of people in this audience who probably, I don't know if they sat on their hands, but they probably just swallowed a little bile a little bit just thinking about their own role. Here it is.
Kill me. We're nearly done. Jeez. 3 us already. Right, last one. Come on, guys. Our next presenter starred in Netflix's Bird Box, a movie where people survive by acting like they don't see a thing. Sort of like working for Harvey Weinstein. You did it. I didn't. You did it.
Oh, and did you hear the groan? I know it's hard to hear, but he was saying that the next presenter is starred in the movie Bird Box, where the people went around with blindfolds on, pretending they couldn't see anything, which is a lot like working for Harvey Weinstein. And the audience's groan was just like, oh, that like almost like it was out of bounds. But and then he said, "Well, you did it. You did it." Oh, I didn't show it to you. Oh well, that may, hopefully that'll keep me from getting the strike. So anyway, and then finally, let's see here. Another thing. Now the other part of this though is the reactions. So if you look at some of the headlines, for example, here's Variety. Well, we redirected your arrow. So nope, skip ad. Okay, skip ad. Golden Globes review: a tame, mildly political outing for Ricky Gervais. Now, there were a couple actors that decided that they were going to get controversial. Oh, by the way, good morning, Jen T. How you doing? And I don't think anyone else popped in. Opening the Golden Globes, host Ricky Gervais claiming it would be his. Oh my God. Okay, that's not good. Cancel that. Okay. I'm just going to close this window because don't know what's happening there. And that, my friends, is what happens sometimes. I don't know why it would get it on that one. Hang on. Ricky Gervais. Golden Globes 2020. Here we go. Back to let's see if the same ones pop up. There we go. Oh, they're different. Okay, let's USA Today. Let's do the USA Today article, okay? Golden Globes 2020. Just for even putting a clip of it on. They are not. Oh my gosh, I can't even get it to come back on. Okay, there we go. Looks like I got a connection, and I'm back. And looks like we're okay. Okay, you're going to have to refresh, guys. Sorry. You can see me. Now there I am. Wow, that lurking and working. Well, lurking and not working for a minute, Maddie. Thanks for dropping in, though. All right, looks like I have an excellent connection again. Let's see if we can finish this USA Today article. So apparently this person didn't like Ricky Gervais. Was Golden Globes host Ricky Gervais even trying in his 5th time at the Globes microphone? With a glass of beer on the podium, Gervais looked a little tired when he opened the show, reminding viewers he didn't care anymore and never really did. The lackluster, lazy parade of jokes at the expense of Baby Yoda and Joe Pesci. The internet has beat him to much better jokes on the tiny alien. Felicity Huffman making license plates, which I thought was hilarious. The audience definitely wasn't with him there. Cats, he ripped Cats to shred. Nothing worse that happened to cats than dogs. Martin Scorsese's Hide, and movies about pedophiles. There were a few chuckles to be had, but even fans of Gervais' harsh brand of no sequel. Oh, hello. Thank you, C. Thomas, with the first super chat of the day. And it's not showing up on my list. There, wait, what happened? Well, I know there was one. What the hell happened there? For some reason, C. Thomas. Let me see if I can find it over here. Hang on. It didn't show up on the list. Did they yeet your... Did they leech your... Okay, there you are. Ricky Gervais deserves a Medal of Honor. Hollywood has turned into a circle jerk of self-congratulatory whining. Also, apparently, Mark Wahlberg suggested celebrities finally shut the fuck up about politics and just focus on acting instead of lecturing. Well, good for Mark Wahlberg. That is very astute of Mr. Wahlberg, and I agree. And thank you, C. Thomas, for the $2 in the super chat, which you can do through the Streamlabs. Thank you very, very, very much. So back to this hoe. Now she says the unsung winners, honestly, best parts of the awards for the Hollywood Foreign Press Association. Nope, there is no such thing as the best part of those award shows. I'm sorry, it's not. But anyway, let's see. Did she? Oh, apparently. Okay. What? Okay, I don't even care about the awards. You know what? I don't know who won. I don't care who won, although there were some controversial moments. A couple of people decided they were going to be political anyway. I don't care. Let's talk about the other comedian I want to talk about today. So, we've had a big controversy over the... Here, let me just close these windows. I don't even want to freaking look at these. We've had some controversies regarding a certain general from a foreign land who, you know what? Let's just say that before last week, many of you have probably never heard of him, but he certainly blew up real fast over the weekend, didn't he? Yes, I stole that joke. But anyway, so there's a lot of people who are not very happy with the president of the United States, including the entire country of Iran. And Iran apparently has put out a bounty on our president of $80 million. Well, there are other comedians out there who think they're comedians, but apparently aren't very funny, and maybe getting a visit from the Secret Service. Comedian George Lopez responded to news of a call on Iranian state television for an $80 million bounty on President Donald Trump's head by saying, "We'll do it for half." Ugh. Trump on Thursday ordered the drone strike that killed Iranian General Qasem Soleimani Near a Baghdad airport, both the president and the Department of Defense defended the killing as an action against imminent threats posed by the Quds general to U.S. diplomats and service members. However, during Soleimani's funeral on Iranian state TV, a eulogist could be heard calling for an $80 million bounty on the U.S. president's head, spelled heat in this article because nobody has editors on the internet anymore, $1 for every person in Iran. It was unclear if the call officially came from the Iranian government. So here he is. That's the tweet about that. So anyway, responding to the reporting on the bounty from Chicano World News posted on Instagram, Lopez wrote, "We'll do it for half." George, you gotta learn. You can't make threats like that. Lopez's post left many on social media wondering if the U.S. Secret Service was looking into the matter. So there it is. George Lopez just said he'd assassinate President Trump for half of the $80 million bounty. Secret Service should take a look at this. Carpe Dum. Dear Secret Service, some person named George Lopez stated that he would assassinate President Trump for $40 million. Please look into this threat immediately. And so, so a bunch of people took his joke and have forwarded it to the proper authorities. Yeah, George Lopez. He's a comedian. George Lopez used to be pretty funny, but he's just an angry old dude now. I was going to say an angry old white dude, but he's, he's white Hispanic. He's like George Zimmerman. He's white Hispanic. Good God. And then one other comedian over the weekend that I have to mention, let me find it here, who's also kind of in trouble. Not in trouble necessarily with the Secret Service. Oh, there's a couple more comedians I got to talk about. I'm sorry. Let's see. Where to go? There's a couple more comedians I got to talk about. Director Terry Gilliam. Remember Terry Gilliam from Monty Python? He was part of the Monty Python crew. In fact, Terry Gilliam is an interesting story because he grew up in Chicago and somehow ended up as part of the group of Monty Python over in Great Britain. His story. Director Terry Gilliam says he's tired of white men being blamed for everything that is wrong with the world. Interesting. Director and former Monty Python cast member Terry Gilliam is under fire now because he refused to kowtow to modern woke rules. During an interview with The Independent, the Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas director insisted that people work so hard to be offended now. Gilliam enraged his interviewer by daring to suggest that people are responsible for their own decisions. Gilliam went so far as to claim that people today want to blame others for their lot in life. He used a character named Angelica, played by Joanna Ribeiro, in his upcoming movie, The Man Who Killed Don Quixote, who was promised to be made a star by a director played by Adam Driver when she was 15. He does not come through on his promise, and she becomes a model and escort. In the age of Me Too, here's a girl who takes responsibility for her state, Gilliam said. Whatever happened in this character's life, she's not accusing anybody. We're living in a time where there's always somebody responsible for your failures, and I don't like this. I want people to take responsibility and not just constantly point fingers at somebody else saying, "You ruined my life." Gilliam then said the Me Too movement has become a witch hunt. While it might have nabbed people like Harvey Weinstein, it quickly devolved into a grievance moment that allowed women to destroy the reputations of men over exaggerated and contrived slights. Yeah, I said Me Too is a witch hunt, Gilliam said. Yeah, I said it. I really feel there's a lot of people, decent people, or mildly irritating people who are getting hammered. That's wrong. I don't like the mob mentality. These were ambitious adults. He went on to say that all of Weinstein's victims were indeed victims. There are many victims in Harvey's life, he said, and I feel sympathy for them. But then Hollywood is full of very ambitious people who are adults and they make choices. We all make choices, and I could tell you. And And I could tell you who did make the choice and who didn't. I hate Harvey. I had to work with him, and I know the abuse. But I don't want people saying that all men, because on the 1991 Fisher King, 2 producers were women. One was a really good producer, and the other was a neurotic bitch. It wasn't about their sex. It was about their position of power and how you use it. And then he continued saying, naturally, the Brazil director's comments enraged social justice warriors who no doubt are sharpening their cancel culture pitchforks. Well, of course they are. But anyway, Terry Gilliam, a little bit. It's funny how a lot of people are coming out and are starting to speak out about some of the cancel culture and all that stuff. I know ContraPoints made a video about it the other day. Apparently, ContraPoints is in trouble over it. We talked about that, about how she's trending. She was Oh, no, we didn't, because that was over the weekend. She was trending over the weekend. I haven't watched the video yet, so I can't really comment on it. But anyway, another comedian, though. Oh, shoot, I did this. I clicked the wrong button here. Another comedian that, let's just say got a taste of what it's like to say something stupid on the internet. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Now that I accidentally closed the window. Where is it? You're going to like this one, I promise. I promise you that it will be good as soon as I find it, even though I'm the second most unprofessional monkey on the internet. Here we go. I found him. Yes, another comedian decided to weigh in on the old... He decided to weigh in on Iran, and the Twitter users made him wish he hadn't. And that would be our dear friend and professional comedian, Colin Kaepernick. Hey, Ginger Snap and Zombie Teddy and Chicago Mike. Oh, you were already here, Chicago Mike. Maybe you were, maybe you weren't. I don't know. Maniac Man, how you doing? And I think I got everyone who's popped in. Mr. Scott, you were here earlier. I think I got them all. Okay. Hey, everybody. So Colin Kaepernick weighs in on Iran, and Twitter users make him wish he hadn't. Former NFL quarterback Colin Kaepernick weighed in on the U.S. drone strike that killed former Iranian General Qasem Soleimani, tweeting Saturday afternoon that American terrorist attack against black and brown people for the expansion of American imperialism is nothing new. Okay. And, U.S.'s history is, check your logic. How you doing? So, America, he continued, America has always sanctioned and besieged black and brown bodies, both at home and abroad. America's militarism is the weapon wielded by American imperialism to enforce its policing and plundering of the non-white world. Now, so, Colin, I sort of get what you're trying to say here, but honestly, really, first of all, the history doesn't necessarily support that. I mean, you got to remember, our biggest wars have been against other white people. Well, other countries predominantly white. I'm not white. I don't but World War I, World War II, those were pretty much exclusively against white people, except for the people in North Africa that fought from the side of the Nazis. And if you think about it, the Iranians, the Persians, they're actually Caucasian. They're descendants of the Caucasus, from the Caucasus Mountains. Okay, I know that you probably didn't know that, but anyway, while Pentagon officials and President Donald Trump himself insisted the strike against the Quds general killed outside Baghdad airport on Thursday was meant to deter an imminent attack on U.S. personnel and diplomats, some on all sides have reasonably questioned the overall strategy. Others took things to a whole new level, like Hollywood actress Rose McGowan, who apologized to Iran and begged them not to kill us. They even put her tweet on here. She wrote, "Dear Iran, the USA has disrespected your country, your flag, your people. 52% of us humbly apologize." What? What? Rose, you don't speak for us. Anyway, she continues, "We want peace with your nation. We are being held hostage by a terrorist regime. We do not know how to escape. Please do not kill us. Hashtag Soleimani." And we have another super chat. I have that up really loud. That scared the hell out of me. I gotta turn that down. Holy moly. Thank you, C. Thomas, with another $2 super chat. Kaepernick the grievance grifter. Now there, we did use the term correctly. Yes, Colin Kaepernick. It's weird how Colin Kaepernick is making more money now via grievances than he did making football. His contract was Nike was as big as his football, or bigger than his football contract. Anyway, plus they sold out of his shoe. They made a shoe for Colin Kaepernick, and it sold out. Anyway, C. Thomas writes, "Kaepernick, the grievance grifter, never has the correct opinion on issues, and frankly should be countered with, shut the fuck up, Kaepernick, you whiny hoe. And frankly, fuck Iran. That theocratic shithole should have American freedom roll through Tehran." Well, I'm gonna... Hang on, I want to play this again. I just think that's funny. And since no one knows... Y'all, just a reminder, by the way, if you decide to do super chats, look down in the description down below and choose a dollar amount that can play something. Oh my goodness, another one. What did I do there? Oh, it just played itself. Okay. Is that the same one? Yes, that was the same one. I repleted it. So here's the thing. I just think we should get the hell out of there. Why are we there? What do you think we should just let them work it out? Let the Iranians and Iraqis and Syrians and everybody just work their shit out. And you know what? If they get to a point where they kind of start pointing towards the one nation in there that we care about, well, there's a couple actually, because we do have good relations with several nations in the Middle East. But the one that we really care about, obviously, is Israel. And you know, because Israel's the only, you know, they're the one democracy over there, okay? But the Israelis can take care of themselves. They are the Israelis. They kick ass and take names. Everyone in Israel just fights, okay? So I'm not so concerned about them. But if we really needed to, we can go help them if we need to. But can we just get out of there? In fact, I think the Iraqi parliament over the weekend... Oops, let's fix this. The Iraqi parliament over the weekend made a non-binding resolution calling for the American military to leave Iraq. Now, we only have about 5,000 or so personnel over in Iraq right now, and I would not feel bad at all if Trump said, you know what, let's just take that home. I should have special animations at 5:56 and 3:57 for whoever keeps using funny names. I'm wondering who makes those funny names too. I'm not quite sure. I'm not 100% sure. At what dollar amounts? Let me think about that. Let me look at my list here. I know I'm going off track now. Thanks, Duck Dog. You got me off track, and you did it well. Hello, Six. How you doing? I see you in the street. Let's see. How much? $3.57 and $5.56. Okay, I'm gonna put this in my list. Let's see. It'll be, what do you say? 5? $5.56. Okay, I'm not going to add them right now, but I will do this between now and tomorrow. And then what did you say? $3.57. Okay, we got there 3.57. All right, I'll put some animations in for those. I have a whole bunch ready. I have tons of them. And between animations and memes, we'll add those in tomorrow, Duck Dog. Thank you very much. And because I know there is that one person who does funny names, and they deserve to have their own special animations. But if you look through my list, there's a whole list of different options there. So you can check it out. But I'm not going to do horsecock. Didn't we already talk about this? I am not going to do horsecock. Okay, no horsecock. No horsecock. Okay, that's Sinatra's thing. Hello, Tyler F. Good morning. All right, so back to Kaepernick, or just the reactions to this thing from some of our more popular celebrities. So anyway, that was Rose McGowan. Please don't kill us. Here's a sampling of reactions to the former national anthem kneelers tweet, many of which pointed out the fact that the brown people he was commemorating actually killed more than his share of black and brown people all over the region. We need a Duck Dog song. Okay, I'm thinking about it. Hello, Data Wasteland. Tom Elliott says, in response to Kaepernick, am fearful you have CTE, but that typically only impacts players who saw Game Time. Thinking he get hit in the head too much, and no. Will Chamberlain says, you can leave anytime. Yes, I know that's sometimes a factor that people like to bring up. You can leave. Hey, if you don't like it, you leave. I don't necessarily think that Colin Kaepernick wants to leave. He just feels slighted. He feels that somebody else did him wrong. You know, Colin Kaepernick's season when he got benched, he was 3-11 as a starter, had a 59 quarterback rating. I'm sorry, just that's why you were sitting on the bench. And I didn't think the reason he didn't get picked up by anybody is because no one wanted to pay $15 million a year for a backup quarterback, and that's all there was to it. Nobody wanted to pay $15 million a year for a backup quarterback, and they still don't. And you know what? You probably could get Colin Kaepernick at a bargain now, but I would bet you. See, he has delusions of grandeur, and I would bet you that if he didn't get a contract like a starting quarterback, I bet he would turn it down anyway. So it's like, oh, the NFL is holding me off from playing, but hey, I'm not going to play for any less than what I think I'm worth, even though you would be a backup quarterback sitting on the bench. Although he couldn't do any worse than Drew Brees yesterday. Oh, did I say that out loud? I'm sorry. Shiagrath, if you're still in the chat, give me a high five. Thank you. All right. Ben Dominique said, Qasem Soleimani was responsible for the deaths of hundreds of Americans who were black and brown. But see, Colin could counter back that, you know what, we're sending over our black and brown Americans to die over there. He could yeah, I would say that the Soleimani actually killed tons of black and brown people in the Middle East and in Africa, because he's been the one responsible for a lot of the a lot of the different I don't know, let's just say activity in that region. Curtis Hauk says, siding with an Iranian Islamic terrorist who's killed hundreds of Americans, injured untold numbers more, and from a country that's anything but progressive to trash America, disgusting and unsurprising. So you're pro-terrorism? Colin, pro-terrorism? I just don't get it. I know that, I mean, if you know the history of this guy, he's responsible for thousands of deaths. Ryan Saavedra says, Iranian terrorist Qasem Soleimani killed thousands upon thousands of black and brown people throughout the Middle East. the United States put an end to his murdering. And there you go. Yeah, I'm not into the proxy wars. Like I said, get the hell out of there. Get it out. I'm fine. And you know what? The only thing that bothered me too. Now, Twitter isn't always accurate. A lot of the stuff you see on Twitter sometimes leads you astray, and then you have to wait. You have to do the 3-day rule. Okay, anything you see on Twitter or on the major news that comes out as major news, you got to give it a 3-day buffer for the actual truth to come out. And so when the Iraqi parliament said that they would like the U.S. forces to leave Iraq, which is a non-binding resolution, apparently, I think that would be an opportunity. Hey, let's get the hell out of Dodge. But apparently Trump said tweeted something about if we're going to put sanctions on Iraq if you expel us prematurely or blah, 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 blah. I don't know. It's turning... I saw the word clown in the chat, but yeah, the clown show is just getting more clowny each day. And I think take the opportunity to get out of there, if you ask me. All right, let me find... All right, it's enough about Colin Kaepernick. People were chirping back at Colin Kaepernick pretty good, and good for them. He deserves it. All right, let's see. At 9:55, I got good time here. Today, or this week, we're supposed to... I think Congress and the Senate are supposed to be back in session. Hang on a second. Here. So here's the article. Iraq calls for foreign troops to leave after U.S. killing of Iranian commander. In Baghdad, Iraqi parliament called on Sunday for the U.S. and other foreign troops to leave amid a growing backlash against the U.S. killing of a top Iranian military commander who has heightened fears of a wider Middle East conflict. In a war in words between Iran and the United States, U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo said Washington would target any Iranian decision makers it chose if there were further attacks on U.S. interests by Iranian forces or their proxies. Qasem Soleimani was killed on Friday in a U.S. drone strike on his convoy at the Baghdad airport, an attack carried out by that carried U.S.-Iranian hostilities into uncharted waters and stoked concern about a major conflagration. As Washington and Tehran, longtime foes, traded threats and counter-threats, the European Union, Britain, and Oman urged them to make diplomatic efforts to defuse the crisis. The Iraqi parliament passed a resolution calling for an end to all foreign troops' presence, reflecting the fears of many in Iraq that the strike could engulf them in another war between two bigger powers long at odds in Iraq and across the region. So their concern is they don't want a war being fought right over their country again. Another killer bites the dust, no love lost, but also giving the CIA a bit of competition in the terrorist business. Yeah, that too, right down a wasteland. I hear you. And then, like I said, there's only 5,000 troops in Iraq, and they're mostly in an advisory role. Hey, let's get them out. Get them out. Let the Iraqis take care of themselves, And apparently the funerals for the Soleimani in Iran were huge. They were huge. So let's see. Let's go on there. Let's see. This is an editorial at the Federalist. Killing Soleimani was the right move, and it shows precisely why it's time to leave Iraq. President Donald Trump's order to kill Iranian General Qasem Soleimani in Baghdad was the right call. At the same time that he had to make this call, how he had to make it, and the mortal danger to American assets it presents, illustrate exactly why U.S. forces should not spend a day longer in Iraq than necessary to end our long dwindling interest. Iran needed to learn a hard, swift lesson. For 4 decades, it has ratcheted global temperatures up and down with a close eye on Americans' reactions. Kidnapping, terror, extortion, sabotage, and blockades have all been used since the Islamic Republic's inception in 1979. On Thursday, the U.S. president made Iran understand what should have always been understood. Orchestrating an attack on a U.S. embassy is a line no country shall cross. For more than 30 years, from 1988 until January 3rd, 2020, Soleimani has been the Michael Jordan of Iranian black ops, leading his elite Al-Quds fighting force to wage and plot unconventional warfare from neighboring countries to Washington, D.C., killing at least 500 U.S. servicemen along his merry way. He seemingly moved about the Middle East with impunity, even making time for a jaunt to Moscow shortly after President Barack Obama granted him run of the region with an ill-fated Iran deal. The ticket to his final destination took him from Lebanon, where he coordinated his pet Hezbollah, to Baghdad International Airport, where he roughly 15 miles from U.S. Embassy, from the U.S. Embassy, he ordered besieged that week. His trip came to an abrupt end. Some say as an illustrious career, some say as illustrious career as is ought to end, with a gold watch or silver plate. Instead, it ended with a smear on the road. Well, that's harsh. His dead friends, including the leader of the Shia militia whose killing of an American contractor had launched this whole fracas, had driven out to meet his plane. No doubt they felt safer from U.S. retaliation close to their Iranian overlord. In the meantime, Soleimani's family will have to take heart he was with those friends. That and the low priority Islam places on an open casket. Oh, God. When the Romans ruled the world, it was called Pax Romana, Roman peace, and it held 2,000 years ago when St. Paul was ordered scourged. He asked a Roman centurion, "Is it lawful for you to scourge a man who is a Roman and uncondemned?" The soldiers immediately let go of him, and the commander was afraid when he found out that he was Roman, and because he put him in chains. As Paul's stories unfold, ruler after ruler, king after king twitched and fumbled, fearful of Caesar's retaliation were an injustice to befall this one solitary citizens of Rome. For years, it had been hard for the American reader not to feel a twinge of envy at this story. What would happen if an American citizen were scourged in today's Middle East? On Thursday, Iran got this president's answer. Pundits have been quick to say that this will escalate tensions, and it certainly will. Many, however, neglected to mention how Iran has been ratcheting up tensions for years. Democrats and supporters of Obama's Iran deal, which sought to convince Iran to act like a responsible regional power, claimed the recent kidnappings and attack on tankers, oil fields, U.S. personnel, and finally our embassy were a predictable response to Trump's maximum pressure strategy. Maybe, but this ignores that under the previous be a good boy policy, Soleimani led Iran's imperial effort to destabilize Iraq, crush Syria, plunge Lebanon into crisis, all with the intent to cement Iranian rule over the whole north of the Middle East. Now that is the one thing, man. He has his hands in Syria, Lebanon. Remember, and he even had a hand in Libya. With that mess, and now there's slave auctions in Libya. But that's, whenever I always see the things on Twitter, Trump does something right, and everyone goes, "Thanks, Obama," kind of like a cult. You know how they're saying that Trump followers are a cult? And well, never mind. Slave auctions in Libya. Thanks, Obama. He had little reason to think he would be stopped. Obama was loath to detour from his new peace, and Trump was rightly loath to put American soldiers into the bad guy blender that was Syria. Iran was warned after a drone strike on Saudi oil fields and a number more on tankers in the Strait. An attack on the American embassy is a step far beyond, though, and there is reason to believe Iran's leaders will heed it rather than continue their little playtime. When a past Ayatollah hit a U.S. warship with a mine, President Ronald Reagan sank or disabled half of their navy. They pulled back because while radical the Ayatollahs know their survival does not lie in war with the United States, The same is true today, though their ability to cause unconventional harm to U.S. interests remains strong, hence the problem. Toward what end are we putting American interests in harm's way in Iraq? Even the stupidest blue checkmark on Twitter have identified that while one can get away with a lot in Iraq, it's a tricky little sandbox to frag a famed Iranian general in. A sizable portion of Iraq's population reveres the recently deceased as a terror to their Sunni neighbors and a destroyer of ISIS. The other sizable portion of the country sympathizes with ISIS, either wholeheartedly or in thinking that when Soleimani and friends want to kill your family, you can go without beer and cigarettes for a while. To keep this madhouse on the level, the president ordered the 82nd Airborne to reinforce the Middle East, and if it goes south, we'll have to send more and more of our men and women. But should we have to? Rather than ask how to whip Iran, we should be wondering if our blood and treasure is better served in defending against the real threat to our homeland. These days in New York and D.C., it's all the rage to claim that our every move away from unending war benefits our enemies. The reality, of course, is that unending American war in the Middle East drains our coffers, military strength, and political will, all the glory of Moscow and our true enemies in Beijing. Meanwhile, foreign policy hawks in Washington are terrified Russia might follow our lead as they have in Syria. Have at it, say those with an ounce of sense and a glimmer of memory from the past 17 years, regardless of whether war kicks off over Thursday strike, regardless of which strongman's in charge in the region, and regardless of whose saber rattles next week, the situation has not and will not dramatically improve in this undesirable and less strategic region of the world. I don't even need to read any more because that's the key. This region of the world has never changed. It's not going to change. They don't want to change, and I don't care. Get out. Please, just get out. Get out. Moving on. Good morning, gayest person on YouTube. Morning, all. No notification was sent out to me. Sad face. YouTube, fix your shit. I concur. All right, I just realized I didn't have that article on the screen, but you get the gist. It's time to leave. It's time to get the hell out of there. All right. Let me just, let's see. We'll do a couple more headlines from the Ace of Spades. We won't get into the articles, but at least get an idea what's happening. Let's see. Iran ends nuclear deal commitment, will no longer limit uranium enrichment. As if they were anyway. President Trump issues new warning to Iran, trolls Nancy Polygrip in the process. By the way, you know what's also fascinating? Nancy Pelosi, you know who Nancy Pelosi is. She's tweeting over the weekend something about how Trump had no authorization to make this airstrike and yada, 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 yada. And I'm thinking to myself, wasn't there a recent president who did more than 2,800 air and drone strikes over a certain period of time that was post George W. Bush and pre Donald Trump? I could have sworn that there was a president who did that and didn't have explicit permission from anyone in Congress to do that. Did they? I can't remember how that works. Some kind of 2,800 strikes. And in fact, I could have sworn he killed an American in that process, and just with no warrant, no permission from the House Committee on Foreign Affairs or the Speaker of the House. Why does the House? And now, look, I am in full agreement with the idea that perhaps since September 11, 2001, we may have given a little bit too much power to the executive branch of our government regarding, being able to carry out attacks and do kind of warlike stuff without a lot of, supervision and permission and all that shit. But I'm pretty sure that has applied to all 3 presidents during that time. And I know that one guy in the middle that I can't think of his name, but he was the guy after Bush and the guy before Trump, used that power quite liberally. Yes, the pun was intended. I mean, quite liberally. And not just as far as strikes against foreign targets, but in fact, he used some of them powers that they gave him. They gave the executive branch. They gave the spying community. He even used some of that power against American citizens. In fact, some of them. Do you know what? Did you know that he used some of those powers against a presidential candidate? Did you know that? Now, maybe, okay, so I say he as in that particular president. Now, maybe, there's a chance that maybe it wasn't him specifically, but boy, did that branch of government really, really has done some shady stuff against American citizens over the last 8 years. So I'm just saying, the fact that Nancy Pelosi's out here saying, oh, he didn't have permission from us to do this and didn't have permission from us to do that, blah, 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 blah. Whatever. I'm just saying. All right, let's do this. It is time to find out what's happening in the world. That means we check out the daily Twitter trending tab. And at the top of the trending tab, of course, and I can't argue, even though it's not the number one trending, but it is on the little. They give me a little. They give you a little trending preview of something's happening, not blah blah yada yada. I know I can't talk right now. Ricky Gervais. Ricky Gervais is at the top. Ricky Gervais's monologue got some interesting reactions from celebrities. I am absolutely going to click that because I didn't really get into the reactions. Ricky Gervais's monologue to open Sunday night's Golden Globes was, as expected, sharp-edged and controversial. And if you haven't seen it, oops, is that it? No, that's not what I want. What is that? Oh, what's that link to? Let me give you a link. I'm going to give you a link in the chat if we're already here, just to watch it if you haven't seen it. And even if you have seen it, you need to watch it again. It is glorious. I'm just saying. Here's the, let's see, let's go. We'll do Benny's tweet here because it was just, as Benny, whoever Benny is here, Benny Johnson says, it was savage. Oh, that's a YouTube link. That's not the link I want. What the hell's going on here? That's not YouTube. What? What the hell happened there? Bookmarks. Okay, and then we go to Benny Johnson. There we go. All right, I'm going to put this in the chat. Boop. There you go. All right, Ricky for Parliament. Yeah, Ricky should be in Parliament. Okay, so if you want to watch that, his monologue was just beautiful. All right, let's get into some of the hard stuff here. The hard stuff. Oh, yeah. Okay, so like I said, they were showing some of the reactions, and I'm not even, here's just, if you could see her face. Oh, man. Yes. And then cutting to Amy Poehler. Yeah, she's like, yeah, Ricky's funny. And then this dude, these people are just, that's rough. Yeah, they but Tom Hanks was interesting. Tom Hanks didn't smile a whole lot during the monologue. I think maybe he's a little too close to to Harvey Weinstein, or I don't know what it is, but Tom Hanks did not look happy during that monologue. He had some sourpuss face. Now Leonardo DiCaprio thought the joke about him was funny about, that movie was so long that by the end of the movie, his date was too old for him. Apparently, Leonardo still tends to date some youngins, even though he's almost 50. Isn't that weird? It's funny because I forget that Leonardo DiCaprio has been around for a long time, and he's always had that baby face, so he always plays young characters. But I mean, Gilbert Grape, when he was a little kid, that movie, was I in college? I don't know. No, I wasn't in college yet, or maybe I was. But yeah, he's been around forever. Anyway, most of you have spent less time in school than Greta Thunberg. Yeah, that was a great joke. Hello, Delahaye. How you doing? Yeah, he gave zero fucks. You are correct, Zombie Teddy. He did not give a fuck. By the way, Shiograph, thank you to you and Necrosol and Rolling Bear, and I already hit G Prime and MC for retweeting the show out this morning. Also, Becca Farley and Pincalo. What did you do? I saw you did something here. Oh, you sent me something. Oh, this picture. Yeah, the National Post. Okay, well, we'll take a look at this. We'll take a look at that. Donald Trump, unmoved by backlash, says he will attack Iran's culture sites. Ugh! Yeah, I don't like that idea. I think he should if they do anything, I think you go Reagan and just sink their Navy. Sink most of their Navy and tell them to shut the fuck up. He said that if they do any kind of more attacks, that he has 52 missiles or 52 targets set up. Some are culturally sensitive sites and yada, yada, yada. That's a little too Taliban-esque for me. I'm not thrilled with this. Here's the article. National Post. Trump, unmoved by backlash, says he will attack Iran's cultural sites. They're allowed to kill our people, and we're not allowed to touch their cultural sites. It doesn't work that way. Few things can rally Iranians around their flag like a threat to destroy venerated remnants of their ancient heritage. President Donald Trump tweeted on Saturday that he had included Iranian cultural sites in his list of 52 targets for attack should Tehran retaliate against U.S. assassination of Iran's top military commander, Qasem Soleimani. The prospect of an assault on sites like the ancient ruins of Persepolis or the immaculately tiled porticos of Estefan's 500-year-old Nash Jahan Square triggered an immediate backlash across Iran, transcending the country's deep political divisions. Following the backlash of his Saturday's comments, Trump remained by his statement. They're allowed to kill our people. They're allowed to torture and maim our people, he said on his flight back from a holiday at Mar-a-Lago, his Florida resort. They're allowed to use roadside bombs and blow up our people, and we're not allowed to touch their cultural sites. It doesn't work that way. Geneva Convention, it kind of does work that way. I say just destroy their Navy, destroy their capabilities, and they have to pull back. Anyway, destroying cultural monuments is a war crime, and many compared Trump to the Islamist state and the Taliban, jihadi groups that erase centuries of cultural heritage in lands they overran by destroying ancient monuments with bulldozers and explosives. The hashtag Iranian culture sites was trending on Twitter by Sunday, that people have flooded social media with photos of their favorite historic landmarks and monuments. U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo tried later to roll back the comments and told a reporter that Washington would behave inside the system in the event of any military action. I'm gonna leave that at that. Yeah, that's Trump bluster. He's anti-war, but he don't take no shit. Yeah, it's bluster. I think part of this. I think part of this, the fact that our embassy was attacked, I think he's making, as much as anything, is making a statement, not just to Iran, but to that little heavyset fellow down in Southeast Asia. Or Southeast Asia, Southwest Asia, Southwest Asia, excuse me. Who's kind of been flapping his lips a little bit again, even though they've kind of cooled or warmed up relations between their southern counterpart. I'm talking about Korea, guys, North Korea. And just saying, hey, don't mess with us. Stop it. Stop it. All right, I got to move on because I'm running out of time here. All right, let's talk about what's trending on Twitter real quick, because that's what we do at this time of day. Trending number 1, Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy. Oh, wow. Will be the Cowboys' new head coach, according to the NFL Network. Okay, if you're a Cowboys fan. Hey, Zoob, how you doing? Okay, if you're a football fan, Mike McCarthy, former Packers head coach. He's been around the league. He's a pretty good coach. Apparently, Jerry Jones has called up Mike McCarthy. Now, that's fascinating. Let's see. From the GMFB, the Cowboys coaching search is done. Former Packers coach Mike McCarthy is their guy. All right, there you go. Good news for the Cowboys, I think. Monday Motivation's number 2. Instead of, it's cool. No Monday at the top. Monday Motivation. Sticks Hexenhammer is at the top of my Monday Motivation. To not get your hopes up. Okay, this is he's answering YouTube creators. If you had to give fellow creators one tip, what would it be? Hashtag Monday Motivation. Sticks Hexenhammer 666 says, to not get your hopes up. Oh, another one. If you had to give fellow creators one tip, what would it be? Monday Motivation. Move to BitChute and use YouTube as your backup. All right, let's find a one. Oh, this is a funny video. This is here, let me put this on full screen so that you can see that this particular goose gives no F's whatsoever. You ever seen this video? The goose is standing its ground against a bunch of cows. What? Get back! What? Back the hell off! Oh my gosh! Back the hell! It's amazing that those cows don't just knock it over, but these nope. Back off! Back off! Back off, dumb cow! All right, that's motivation enough. Let's move on. Castro, why is Castro trending? Didn't he just drop out of the race? Julian Castro endorses Elizabeth Warren. Will that get her a whole nother 0.5% of votes? Castro endorses Warren, making official their not that secret affection for each other's campaigns. Julian Castro endorses Elizabeth Warren. The move came soon after Mr. Castro ended his own bid for the Democratic presidential nomination and gives a lift of about 0.3% to Ms. Warren's campaign. Yeah, I don't think so. But you know what? I'm just wondering if campaign finance laws go out of favor for him, if he, in theory, is still running because he only suspended his campaign so he could raise money to pay off his debts. Anyone know the answer to that? Anyway, all right, Castro endorses Warren. Nobody cares. Monday morning, we're going to skip that. Let's see what's after Monday morning here. Army Selka Day. I can't remember what this is. It's every, okay, so graduation, that graduation energy. In this house, we only accept true friendship. I don't know what Army Selka. No. This is a K-pop thing, and it comes up every fucking K-pop. Monday thoughts. Let's see if we can find a hashtag ho. Oh, here's a Monday thought. Liberal MSNBC anchor S. Rule promoted as NBC News senior business correspondent. Okay, good for her. Good. Here's a money thought. Honored to join Alyssa. Oh my gosh, who is Pete Morley? Whatever, patient advocate, active with Congress. Honored to join Alyssa Milano on Sorry Not Sorry. To me and million Americans, there's no greater issue than healthcare. It is life or death for us, especially for those with multiple pre-existing conditions. So he's going to be a guest on Alyssa Milano's new podcast, I guess. Yeah, she's whatever. Hello, Marsupial Gamer. Here we go. Tony Stark, 2020 Iron Man says, Pelosi is spot on. No president should have the authority to solely start war, least of all one as incompetent as Trump. The U.S. has an unfit, unqualified POTUS surrounded by C-team sycophants. Congress must force its war powers. Well, you know what, Mr. Stark, 2020, some of us were saying that when the Congress gave up their authority with that AUS agreement or whatever. So, you know what? Like I said, now he hasn't started a war yet, by the way. In fact, I got a feeling that there won't be a war. I just feel that way. I don't think this is going to start a war. It's going to create some tension. There's going to be some tit for tat bullshit. And hopefully that we don't, hopefully it doesn't get any messier than it is now. But like we said, no one was complaining about the last president, the president between Bush and Trump. Remember him? I can't remember his name. Boy, he certainly screwed up Libya and basically went to war in Syria and just all kinds of shit. And so, but that's right, he was special. All right. No, I don't. I really came on here just to see if there's any hashtag hoes, and I don't see any hashtag hoes, also known as trending Twitter trend thoughts. So, okay, good. Maybe we've crossed a crossroads. Is that a saying? We've come up to a crossroad and no Twitter thoughts. Okay, Red Lobster is trending. Why the hell is Red Lobster trending? Did Trump tweet about Red Lobster? Nope. This man had Red Lobster 4 days a week for a year. And he has mercury poisoning. What? Oh, no, this is Chrissy Teigen. Okay. Do y'all see how respectful niggas are? I've done nothing but do everything for this man. Helped him get a business and take him food or whatever he needs when he's struggling. And because I can't this time, this is how he comes at me. This might be humorous. Let's check this out. I'm somewhere right now, but I'll let you know when I'm heading that way. We're making dinner right now, so, and then something like this. We're making this. Do you want this? I know you're craving Red Lobster, but I also don't have much money after paying my bills. It would just be easier on me. Now, I don't know what where this is going. Don't ask me what I want to eat, then tell me to pick something else ever again. Well, I don't like the way you talk to me at all. I'm offering to get you food and going out of my way to do so. I also get what you want. I'm sorry that this time I can't. I'm not your bitch. If that is how you want to try and treat me, I'll be quick to be out. Nah, I'm cool. You heard what I said. Don't try to play a position you're not fit for then. I told you what I wanted to eat. If you have a problem, then be out then. Be out. Be out, he says. You're clearly not on my level and can't afford to support a man of my caliber. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. He told this to, who is this, Tiona? Tiona, this is Tiona. Okay, Tiona's nice. You know what? Whoa, what? This is Tiona right here. Watch this shit up on the shade room. Okay, Tiona's a big woman. Anyway, so Tiona ain't taking no shit from this man. Update. Here's the update. Any woman who would expect a king to lower his standards just because it's coming from her, it's delusional. My quality of life will not decrease because you want me to be grateful for less than I deserve as hard as I work. You saying you're not my bitch, like that's not your intention, is funny. You can't handle the top position, so don't apply for the job. Stay mopping the floors. He said moping the floors, even though he meant mopping the floors. Holy Christ. Uh-oh, there's more. I know you're not financially stable. You don't have your own shit. You're not where I am physically, mentally, or spiritually, or financially. So how does it suck for me to lose someone who is far from on my level? Explain that. You can't even get me a $50 meal, but ask me what I wanted. Do you think I haven't had women grab me Red Lobster before? You want me to be the one that, oh my God, that's close to me, but you're right. You're not the one for me. I don't know why you try if you know you're not my league. You're delusional. Then he continues, find a man that's where you're at. That's why we are friends, because I know you're not my type. You have to qualify to be with a man that does as much as me. If you win me over, then you win me over. But asking me what I want and bailing on it after agreeing is not the way into my life. You want me to be grateful with less than when I can have more. Is that what you think I deserve? Let me tell you, I know what I deserve. I know I deserve to eat Red Lobster. I ate it 4 times a week last year. You are not cut out for the position, period. Don't ever tell me it sucks. Oh God, it sucks for me to lose you like you're the prize. You sound goofy trying to defend yourself with nothing to support your theory. Don't ever tell me no if I tell you what I have a taste for. I'm not your bitch. That's exactly why you're not my bitch. You can't be my bitch. You're broke. You get a new job and come holler at me. Can't even afford a fucking meal. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I guess he told her. And so Chrissy Teigen said, this man had Red Lobster 4 days a week for a year. He has mercury poisoning because he's lost his damn mind. Okay. That's okay. Okay. That thread is why Red Lobster's trending. That is hilarious. Now, if you think Red Lobster is a 5-star restaurant, you probably took your prom date to Sizzler. Yep. That is one of the greatest conversations I've ever seen on Twitter. Or, excuse me. Well, she put it up on, it was from the DMs, but damn. That conversation has Red Lobster trending. That was amazing. All right, moving on. Monday of 2020. It's the first Monday of 2020. I'm not gonna click it. And George Lopez is trending just because of his stupidity. We talked about that earlier. George Lopez just publicly said he would kill the president of the United States for $40 million. Why are Hollywood leftists obsessed with killing the president? Hey, Secret Service, this might be worth looking into. Retweet so they can't ignore. That's Charlie Kirk. Yeah, whatever, Charlie. Joey Salads. Joey Saladano, who's running for Congress, a.k.a. Jody Salads. George Lopez responds to the $80 million bounty on Trump's head by saying, we'll do it for half. Hollywood libtards are crazy. I hope FBI checks this out. Okay, so we already talked about George. George has lost his damn mind. Sang Woo is K-pop. I'm not going to click it. Matt Rule immediately sold himself to former... What? Someone named something Rule. It was reported that McCarthy was one of the favorites for the Giants head coaching job. He's in Dallas now. Giants must be all in on Matt Rule. So let's see. Apparently Matt Rule's a coach from Baylor, and it looks like the New York Giants might pick him up. I don't know if you're a New York Giants fan, and whatever. Moving on, Ted Nugent's trending. What did Ted do now? Ted Nugent's trending. Ted Nugent, I'm going to kill Obama and Hillary. MAGA folks, hell yeah. George Lopez will do it for half. MAGA folks, oh my God. So the outrage machines, yes, I get it. The outrage machines on every side go too far. And when Ted Nugent made his stupid ass comments about shooting Obama. He should not have done it, and the Secret Service should have also visited him. So yes, I agree. George Lopez needs a visit from the Secret Service. Ted Nugent deserved a visit from the Secret Service. You don't make threats to the President of the United States, no matter who the President of the United States is. Period. Done. End of story. But now this is, what about Ted Nugent? What about him? Well, Ted, that was a long time ago. Whatever. Ted Nugent shouldn't have said that shit either. Good. Guyanillo, I don't have no idea what this is. This has got to be, oh, geez. Tucker from Puerto Rico earthquake sees Playa Ventana rock formation in Guyanilla destroyed by a 5.8 magnified quake. Okay, so there was an earthquake in, there was an earthquake in Puerto Rico, and this landmark right here, Guyanilla, was destroyed by it. That's kind of sad. Those kind of landmarks are really, really cool. There's what happened to it. That's sad. I'm sure they'll find a way to blame that on Trump. Yes, Trump should have stopped that earthquake. Yeah, that's sad. Those kind of, that's probably tens of thousands of years of erosion that created that landmark, and the earthquake destroyed it. That's sad. That's kind of a cool spot. But it is what it is, the power of nature, right? Zeke, something having to do with football. I'm going to skip it. Let's see. Suso, Series A, that's something to do with soccer. I'm going to skip it. Mike Nolan, the one to watch for Mike McCarthy's Cowboy job. Well, nope, it didn't happen. Wait, what? Wait, hold on. What's this say? Mike McCarthy is the Cowboys' new head coach and expect him to move quickly on staffing. One name to watch is for defensive coordinator Mike Nolan. Oh, okay. So they think Mike McCarthy's going to hire. It's football. Don't care. Let's see. Zombie Teddy says Ted Nugent did get talked to about his threat. Okay, good. And he should have. That's exactly what should happen anytime someone makes a threat against the President of the United States. And I don't care who the president is. That is the proper that's proper procedure. Talk to, interviewed, whatever. Talk to, interviewed, same thing. I mean, you know what I mean. Interviewed, yeah, he should be. Good. Rivera's trending, and Will Hurd wants to improve the Republican brand. Okay, it's a New York Times article, so I don't care. All right, so that's it for today, people. I've been thinking to myself that the rhetoric has been ratcheted up quite a bit on Twitter and out in the world. The Congress critters chirping at each other, and everyone chirping at Trump and protests and whatnot. And sometimes we just need some calm and we need to be able to step back and figure out, what is actually happening in this world. And I hope that my little corner of the world or my little corner of the internet helps you each day navigate some of the craziness that happens in the world. I do this every day. I mean, almost every day, Monday through Friday at least, 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central, 3 p.m. GMT. Uh-oh, I might get in trouble for that, but okay. 3 p.m. GMT. And you know what? I can't help but feel just a modicum of joy and passion every time you come and join me for that little time that we spend together on the daily. And so I have to thank you. And hopefully that you enjoy the time here. And if you'll do so, be so kind on your way out the door, because we are going to end the stream now. If on your way out the door, if you be so kind as to hit the like button, just tell me that, or except for Duck Dog, who has full endorsement to hit the thumbs down, but everyone else, hit that like button, share the stream. If you want to support the stream, just, you can hit that Streamlabs thing and throw something in the tip jar. Yes, the tip jar is, it's a feature of the show. And if you want to make sure that you get the best of notifications from the tip jar, make sure you look in the description before you do it and choose a dollar amount that fits your passion, fits your style, your grace. Yes, your grace. And, there's all kinds of just fun little ditties that you could pick from. And I'm just waiting for people to start experimenting with those. So check out the Streamlabs links in the description down below and the alerts that come with your different donations. I will be adding special alerts at the $3.57 mark and the $5.56 mark for a certain creative character who likes to come in with special names and whatnot. And then we'll add those, and I'm going to have to think of appropriate animations for it. Also, I'm going to be adding memes and animations and all kinds of stuff, so check that before you decide to throw a couple bucks in the tip jar. It helps the show. It helps. I've almost got enough money for the memory card that I'm going to buy. Not the memory card, the graphics card, so that we can stop having these terrible skip frame moments where we freeze up. Thong song. Oh, that's interesting. And in fact, I'll even take requests. Oh, by the way, I know some of you, I don't think, Evil One's not here. There's a couple of you who are part of the Ass Crack team over at Monkey in the Morning. Just one thing, don't at me on the Ass Crack submissions, please. I will check the hashtag once in a while. And, speaking of hashtag, what is my new hashtag? Did I not check my hashtag? I have a hashtag now. It is PDawg News. I'll check it right now. Okay, there's no results yet, but the new hashtag is PDawg News. If you have stories that you want me to notice, and you don't want to DM me, you can always use the hashtag PDawg News. I put that in the chat just now. But, ladies and gentlemen, I have to call it a day because I do have other obligations. But I thank you for being here. Like I said, hit the like on the way out, share, and all that good stuff. Like always, I am so glad we had this time together. Just to laugh, have a laugh, and sing a song. Seems we just get started, and before you know it, comes the time we have to say so long. My name is PDawg Knight, and I'm out of here. Thank you, and goodbye. See you tomorrow. Hey, this is PDawg Knight, and thank you for watching today on the PDawg Knight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterward so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through the Streamlabs link, which is also in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm PDawg Knight, and I'm out of here.